So this has been a pretty magical month for you. Your run with FDU began with the play-in game, included a number of quotables. Did you get a chance to go fishing yet? That's what America really wants to know.
I have not been fishing. I don't see fishing in my near future. I'm hoping by maybe like August possibly, but it's gonna be a while.
And it was 48 hours after. Was it something like that where Iona automatically made you their guy? And
yeah, we flew home, got home at 5 in the morning. Was on the Today Show at like 8 in the morning. Came home, put my bags down, and by noon I was the Iona head coach.
Wow.
So it happened very quickly.
What has this run been like? Not just the magic of the tournament, but also, going through that closure with your guys. I know your assistant got that FDU job. So, I mean, what is all this? Have you had a chance to reflect on it yet?
Yeah, it's hard because it was such an emotional few weeks. The wins and the success. You don't get to the tournament first of all is a great accomplishment. They win in 2 games. We played great in the play-in game, played great against Purdue, and played great against Florida Atlantic as well. Yeah. So just to go through all that with those guys, hard to say goodbye, hard to walk in that locker room. They were great about it. They understood. So, and then to get the Iona job, and we're right back to work now, trying to build a roster and build a team. So there's no sleep for the weary.
Yeah. So, Coach, you get the new job, the Iona job. How much momentum does it give you going into that job with recruits and things like that? It's
been terrific so far. There's not one recruit that I've talked to that does not know who I am or know who FDU is. So the combination of Iona's tradition, their success, all they've done, plus the right now the current us having a little bit of we're kind of a hot name, hot program. They love our style, how fast we play, how we press, and guys who know us, that's how we always play. But now the whole national scene knows it. So we're able to get more phone calls returned, more texts returned, a lot more notoriety.
I want to go back to that Purdue game. You guys made history in that night. Yeah. But before that, you guys had won and you were in the post game. Just saying how confident you were going into that game. What was it about that matchup that made you so confident? What did you really kind of go at?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how confident we were. We're trying to project confidence. That's part of the deal as a coach, to project that confidence. But I did think that our style of play, our quick guards, we had 2 fifth-year senior guards who combined for 3,500 points, who were quick, athletic, aggressive, our pressing. In the Big Ten, they don't see that kind of style at all. So we thought we could cause them problems in the backcourt. We knew Edey was going to be a problem, but our guys just played terrific as far as making it hard on him, making it tough on him. Nothing was easy, and we made him guard. He had to guard a step out 5, a guy who could play on the perimeter. So and he had to run. We made him run as well. So just the combination of how we played against how they played, and then I think winning that first 4 game and playing as well as we did gave us confidence.
Now, Coach, I tweeted this, knowing you for as long as I have since you were the head coach at D3 Hamilton, and a lot was made about, the more I watch Purdue, the more I think I can beat them, and I want to go fishing and all that, or I like fishing. I thought the best story was every time somebody brought up your family, your mom, your dad, your siblings who were here, that moment that was on CBS Air when your son met you in the tunnel after that big win and just kind of jumped into your arms and you said, let's go celebrate with the team. It just showed how connected your entire family was with your team. Can you talk about the lifestyle of a college coach and how there's really very little separation between your basketball family and your actual family, I guess?
That's a great point, Adam. And for me, it all started when I was a kid. My dad was a coach. Yeah. So I was around my dad, coaching his teams at practice all the time, being around his players. His players were my heroes. Like the high school players, the guys I looked up to. So being in those locker rooms, seeing him, how he interacted with his team, and they were always there. Every night there was someone in our house for dinner. One of the players was there for dinner, or driving them home, or helping with their math work, things like that. So that family atmosphere was what I tried to create at Clarkson, at Hamilton, at Stack, and now at FDU, and now hopefully at Iona. So yeah, it's those guys are at our house all the time. We have dinners all the time. My wife cooks for them. My son's around all the time. And because of the workload and how much we do, you got to make your family part of your team. Have to be. And so my family's awesome. They love being around them all the time, and they're they feel so connected. And my daughter cried after the FAU game, not because of the loss or because we weren't advancing, because she was going to miss Dimitri Roberts and Grant Singleton. Say, I want to be around those guys. I love those guys. So I think that's a very important part of having a great program, is having that interaction there.
Coach, if I can go back to the Purdue game for just 1 second. I was actually in San Diego with my family on spring break. We were driving around town. We were listening to the game on the radio, and the tension, we could feel it. And probably about 4 or 5 minutes left, we got the sense like, oh, my gosh, they can actually make this happen. In the huddle and on the sideline, when did you guys start getting that feeling of, hey, we can really do this? And how did you manage that with your team?
We talked about before the game making each media timeout a 4-minute game. Because if you think about beating Purdue in a 40-minute game, that's a hard thing to do. So it's not just win the first 4 minutes, hang around with the next 4 minutes. So as the second half got going and they started looking a little bit tight, we got a little more confidence. You could feel it in timeouts too. They kept to their credit, they kept saying 4-minute game, 4-minute game. And at a certain point, they got up by 6, and we could have easily gone away. And we made that run to go out. Grant hit a 3 from the wing to put us back up by 2. It was kind of like at that point the guys really believed, hey, this is going to happen. And then obviously Sean Moore's 3 at the top of the key. For me personally, I thought this at some point Purdue's going to flex their muscles and we'll go away. And what a great story. And we played them closely. Most 116 games are like that. At some point the 1 seed just pulls away. When he hit that 3 at the top of the key, it became kind of reality for me and for us. And we finished well. We actually lost to Merrimack in the conference championship on ESPN, and we kind of played not to lose. So that game helped us. We kept saying just play to win, make plays, don't be afraid, don't be tentative. And our guys were not tentative at all. That's hard for a team that plays at a small conference, small gyms, not big crowds. They were not in awe of the situation at all. All 3 games. I thought they played so composed and so poised and so tough.
With Iona's recent success moving on to this new chapter, what's kind of your vision moving forward to build off what they've had in recent years?
Yeah, so Iona's always won, right? They've always had success. They've always been very, very, very good, no matter who the coach has been. They've had great coaches, Kevin Willard, Rick Pitino, Tim Cluse, you can name Jim Valvano, Jeff Ruland. So great coaches, always won. We'd like to take the next step. I think there's the resources there. I think there's a commitment there to be that successful. We're in a great area recruiting-wise, great tradition. Now we got to build a team. You got to build a team, and a team for now, a team for the future, and we'd like to be a team that wins again. The one thing they haven't done is win a game in the NCAA tournament. That has not been done before. So coming off 2 wins, it ain't going to be easy. I know this, but we did win 2 games. And once you're part of this tournament, it's so addictive. It's such a fun experience. It's such a ride. We want to try to get Iona now to win a game, get to a Sweet 16. And, that's going to be hard, but that's the ultimate goal. And I think now, as you see a Florida Atlantic get there, you see Furman's had great runs. You've seen, VC what they did, Butler what they did. It's a reality. It's a hard reality, but we can get there.
Coach, before we let you get out of here, and thank you so much for your time. I know your media demands are a lot more intense than they were a month ago.
You think?
You mentioned FAU. Obviously, we spent most of the day on this set yesterday previewing tonight's matchups.
Yep.
Nobody knows them better than you.
Yep.
I imagine you didn't sleep very much leading up to that one. Do you have anything that you think are particular keys for this first semifinal game tonight?
I think they're really good in transition. So I think San Diego State, in a half-court game, San Diego State's, they're going to grind you. They're so good defensively. They're so big. They're so strong. But FAU can go in transition, and they got so many weapons. The 4 guys around the big kid are all good, and the guys off the bench are pretty good too, and they're all dangerous, and they're not afraid. They make plays. They were behind us and came back. They were behind Tennessee and came back. They're behind K-State and came back, right? They can rebound, obviously. We know that. But they're going to shoot it, and if they're making shots, especially in transition, they'll be hard to beat. I think, and they're not bad defensively. They're not great defensively, but they're not bad defensively. But they are a tough bunch of guys. I think they're have a real good chance of advancing to Monday. I really do.